This video is going to show you how to set up the final draft of your research paper. So the three things you're going to need open are the final draft of your research paper in Microsoft Word. The three things you need to open are your Doodle Tools project, the final draft of your essay. Notice mine is not formatted yet, and your proposal essay. So the first thing I'm going to do is export my works cited page. Now, I don't need to include the annotations. You don't need to include the annotations in your essay. So the first thing I have to do is hide these paragraphs that I initially had from my annotated bibliography. But before I do that, I want to get rid of the sources that I did not end up using in my essay. You don't want to have any sources show up on your works cited page that were not in your actual essay. And if you delete them after you export it to Word, you can maybe screw up the formatting a little bit. So I did not use this source or this source in my essay. So all I'm going to do is click on the little box next to each one and go down here and click on delete. Are you sure you want to delete all the entries that are selected above? Yeah, because they didn't show up in my essay at all. I've already turned in my annotated bibliography. There's not a scenario where I'm going to need these annotations any longer. So I'm going to click on OK. So now my annotated bib in Doodle Tools has the sources that actually showed up in my essay. I'm ready to export here. So I'm going to click on Print Export, which you're familiar with. But before I do that, I also want to get rid of the annotations because I only need the citations. I'm going to click on Formatting Options. And you'll see this box with a whole bunch of options, and it says Include Citations and Annotations. I'm going to click on that. All I want is to print the citations only. You're not printing, you're exporting. That's just what Doodle Tools calls it. Click on Print Citations Only. And now I'm ready to go. I'm going to export this as a Word doc because that's where my paper is going to be formatted in Word. You'll see in the bottom left here, it opened up a little download. If you're using Internet Explorer, it might appear a little different than it does in Chrome. Now it went ahead and opened a new Word document here for me with my works cited page. Notice it's 12-point MLA format. It's got the hanging indent. It's formatted perfectly. I have to click on Enable Editing so I can copy and paste it to the end of my essay. But I'm just going to leave it alone for a minute here because I don't need it right now. The next thing we're going to do is export your proposal essay. You don't have to really do anything about exporting this. All you have to do is copy it and paste it. So I'm just going to copy it. And then paste it at the beginning of my essay here. Okay, so I'm just going to right click again. Paste down and paste plain text. Okay, now notice the formatting here is all different than it's supposed to be. None of this is an MLA format. We're actually ready to format this paper in MLA. So what I'm going to do is just select all my text. And I'm going to do this all at once. So if you go up here to the top, after my text is selected, you probably already know this. Everything has to be in Times New Roman, 12-point font. And this is something that many students get. Okay, it's a mistake. There's this extra space in between each paragraph. That's a default setting in Microsoft Word. So I'm going to click on this box right here, this line and paragraph spacing, and click on this remove space after paragraph, or easier, click on line spacing options, change the after to 0, and then change line spacing to double, because you know it needs to be double spaced. I'm okay. So we're almost there. The next thing I want to do is add my heading to the top of this essay, and that's going to be student's name, teacher name, English 4, and then the date that it's due. So in the MLA formatting, March 2016. I also need a page number with my last name on each page in the header. So I go up to the top here and click on Insert, Page Number, top of page, plain number 3. And this gives me the option to type in the last name here. But notice that this is not an MLA format because it's not Times New Roman 12 point. So I have to select it. And once I've done that, I can just very easily click on Times New Roman, change it to 12 point font. And that's going to show up on every page. This is probably familiar to you. I'm going to click away. And this is where things are a little bit different, okay? You need to include the proposal essay at the beginning, and then you want to put your title. So first I'm going to do is space down 1, center a line, and write proposal essay. Now the proposal essay we want to be single spaced. So I'm going to find the end of my proposal essay and highlight it here. And change this spacing to single. After that, I'm going to hit enter one more time, and once more, and then I'm going to center this, and give this the title of my essay. In fact, I want this on its own page, so I'm going to use the Control-Enter function. This starts on page number 2 of my essay. My essay really starts on page 2, and the proposal is just on page 1. Okay, this is an organizational strategy that Mr. O'Shea and I would like you to utilize. All right, one more thing I have to do with my paper. Notice that when I copied and pasted this over, all of my tabs didn't copy over. So any new paragraph, you want to make sure you tab over. So I'm just going to start doing that here. Okay, and then you have to do it for the entire essay also. So just make sure that you've done that if you haven't already. I'm sure many of you did, but that's something you have to make sure you do in the final draft of the essay. All right, so I've got all my spacing here. Also, you might notice that there's a bunch of misspelled words in here. I just used more of some text generator, so this is all Latin, so Word doesn't recognize it. Anyways, I got my essay here all formatted perfectly. This is all Times New Roman, 12 point, double spaced, everything it has to be for MLA format. The one thing I need to add now is my works cited page. So I'm going to go to the end of my essay, and again, I'm going to start a new page. So there are 2 ways to do that. You can hit Control-Enter on the keyboard, or you can go to right-click. It's actually up here if you go to Insert, Page Break. Okay, that'll guarantee that no matter what you type right here, this will always start on its own page, which is what you want for the beginning of your essay with your research paper, and also at the end with your works cited page, just in case you have to go back and add anything. So I've got my works cited page open in a separate document. I'm just going to select all of it, right-click, copy, and then right on this new page here, and you can look because it's numbered, so this is my page 10. I'm going to right-click and choose this first option, Use Destination Theme. Now, everything is in MLA format exactly the way that it's supposed to, and this paper is ready to be turned in. There's no more formatting you have to do. You do want to go back and double check all your citations to make sure you've done them the right way. You want to proofread your essay clearly, but as far as MLA formatting goes, other than citations, this is a perfect essay the way that we want it to be done. Okay? The proposal essay is going to be single-spaced. The actual essay is going to be double-spaced. The works cited page has the hanging index down here at the end. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure you're asking. Shoot us an email. It's due by midnight on Sunday. Good luck.